Hello and welcome back, guys, to Everlasting Summer. Yeah, I had to double check, sorry. So load this up and we're gonna get back to it. The night left a feeling of anxiety behind. Woke up exhausted, both physically and mentally. Happens to me all the time. You see incredibly lucid images in your dream, as if you fell into a Hollywood blockbuster with a plot full of twists, well-paid actors, and multi-million-dollar visual effects. And then you wake in the morning without remembering a thing. That's what I was trying to do, to restore the images shown by my relaxed brain. But that part of my memory was empty, either archived or formatted completely. 7 a.m. according to the clock. Seemed to be an early bird today. Olga was still sleeping, wrapping tightly in her blanket. Wrapping so tightly. In a hot summer. Huh. Got up, stretched, and went to the mirror to have a look at myself. I'd better shave. Strange idea before twice a month was enough, but now nothing depends on the way I look. I haven't found a razor anyway. Why do I even need it if I look like I'm 17 at most? So, breakfast can't start earlier than 9 a.m., and this means I have plenty of time, which I can spend on walking and washing, for example. Water didn't seem as ice cold as the previous day. On the contrary, its refreshing coolness helped me to brace up and come back to reality, whether all these events could be called real. The tooth powder didn't seem to be such an outdated thing. A quick thought struck me that's not different from the toothpaste. When I returned to the cabin, Olga was already up. She was standing in front of the mirror and fixing her hair. Good morning, Semyon. Good morning. Because of lack of sleep, my head was still singing, and my thoughts were all jumbled together. However, I didn't regret waking up instead of my usual habit of sleeping in for 2 to 3 hours more. How come you got up so early? It just happened. And no neckerchief once again. I'll do it myself. Not a big deal. On my way to the canteen. I don't think so. Do it now. Did you forget about the lineup before breakfast? How could I ever forget? And what's the lineup going to be about today? We'll discuss the agenda for the day. So what's the agenda? Frankly speaking, I didn't care for what might be on the agenda for our courageous pioneer troop. I was mostly interested in where our brave leader will send our little pioneer army for the following 12 to 15 hours. Maybe I can manage to avoid enemy locations. You'll find that out on the lineup. She gave me a wily smile. Olga, my stomach is getting upset. I'd rather, I believe that it's okay to miss the lineup once. It could get all nasty if I fail to control it right here. Where did all this courage come from? You have 5 more minutes. I'm afraid I need more time. Could you tell me right now, please? Sure, I'll try, but just in case it all goes down. Oh, fine. On our list for today is cleaning the camp locations, organizing the books in the library, some other minor tasks, and of course, we'll have a ball in the evening. Sorry. Watch yourself. You must take part in the camp activities today. You bet. Definitely. And now I'd rather... Come on, let's hit the road. Came out of the cabin and hid in the bushes behind it, waiting for Olga to leave. Actually, I didn't have any particular reason to behave this way. But the voice within me kept telling me that I had nothing to do at the lineup. After the camp leader left, I went back to the cabin and decided to wait for breakfast there. Well, I'm not planning on taking part in community life today. Cleaning and organizing, that's not what someone in my situation would be doing. 2 days have passed and I'm still right where I started. All the residents seemed to be perfectly ordinary people. They weren't involved in any conspiracy, weren't communicating with aliens, and had no idea about time warps. Of course, each of them is a bit peculiar, but those peculiarities did not seem out of line at all. Moreover, if I had met any of these pioneers in my familiar world, I wouldn't suspect anything wrong. Voldemort up top here tends to disagree. Voldemort, Morpheus. And I didn't point out this episode, so Pokeball and bra and sock. For someone who wants to leave a decent pioneer life, she has everything a mess. Seemed to be even more normal and natural than, let's say, yours truly. This line of reasoning was quite logical. The illogical part was the absence of answers. Ordinary people in an extraordinary place. I've heard and seen that already somewhere. Dozens of pioneers, or even more, live their familiar lives and do their regular stuff day by day. They don't understand what the world around them is, not what it looks like. Okay. It just hit me. This is sounding a lot like The Giver by Lois Lowry, the Perfect Society. But in that book, it was where they couldn't see colors and everything, and they were totally mind numb to everything else. They just kept everything together in their little hut, and not their hut, but their community, and had everything like predetermined, like rules and what they were gonna do. This guy seems like the main character in a way. Like he already has eyes open to what the real world is. So it's kind of like a reverse Giver, I guess, in a way. Oh well. It's still my favorite book. Okay, but this is their point of view. As for me, I'm not acquainted with this world of the Savyok camp. Soyonak. I still can't say that word. And its residents, even if they seem to behave the way normal people would under the same circumstances. I have to decide here and now. Are those people involved in what's happening to me? Can they give me any answers? Or do I have to seek the truth somewhere else? Seems I overdid it with the bit thinking. There's no usual crowd of hungry pioneers near the canteen. Or even inside the canteen. Most of them probably had their breakfast before 9 a.m. That's even better. Two's company, three's a crowd. Lena was sitting in the farthest corner of the canteen, lazily picking with her fork at an amorphous lump that vaguely resembled porridge. Having a breakfast with her seems like a good idea. You can have a chat in peace. Or at least try to have one. I was on the way to her table when suddenly somebody grabbed me by the sleeve. Xenia, the librarian. Get your meal and come. We need to talk. What are you waiting for? I was a bit confused. Pardon, isn't this a bit too sudden? What's wrong? Get your meal and sit down. I feel that she considers her behavior completely normal. Of course, right? Completely normal. If I lie, she finds out, she gets pissed. If I just do it, I play the act and find out what she wants. I'll find out what she wants. Not sure why, but I accept the invitation. What if I can learn something new? She is such a bookworm. Minute later, probably a minute later, I was sitting in front of Xenia, the tray and the simple meal on it. Porridge, 2 eggs, 4 pieces of white bread, a sausage, and a glass of compote. And damn, I am getting hungry. Fat boy's getting hungry, and this is not good. Bon appetit. Thanks. French. I tried to act as politely as I could and also eat more neatly, without chomping and spilling crumbs of food or drops of compote. So what did you want to talk about? Today at the library, I was listening from this point onwards. I immediately recalled Olga's words about the scheduled events for today. Don't forget. Oh, what? I said don't forget to visit the library after lunch. What for? Were you even listening? Nope. I admitted honestly. Xenia's face turned red, then appeared green, then took on a softer purple color. Today, after lunch, you in the library. Got it, dunce? Dunce? What kind of curse is that? Though, a pioneer must never use a curse word. How could I forget this rule? Oh yeah, sure. I apologize, of course. I'll be there. Actually, I wasn't really planning to go anywhere, but if you want to make someone speak, you need to sacrifice a bit first. By the way, what year is it now? I totally lost count. I decided to play fair. She looked at me perplexed and answered, have you gone completely bananas? Honestly, that's how I felt for the last few days. Xenia didn't reply. So what year is it? I smiled kindly. Listen, why don't you visit the infirmary? Will they tell me what year is it there? Oh, certainly, and even more. Xenia stood up and headed to the exit. Wait, you didn't finish your meal. Looks like she won't turn back. I was finishing chewing on the sausage, which tasted like a twisted pear cable. I wonder if they have internet access here? I guess not. Pioneer sitting on the next table noticed me talking to myself and stared at me. I smiled and waved to him in return. This is a friendly greeting. He, for some reason, left the canteen quickly without finishing his breakfast. Done with the food, it's time to search for some clues. Sometime later, I finally came to the infirmary. I have nothing to do in that place. Though the nurse seemed quite caring, it's better to keep a distance from her. Such benevolence is actually scary. She may know something, but I just hadn't the courage to enter the infirmary. Moreover, I had no reason to. Not a single one. Immersed in my own thoughts, I didn't notice the nurse who was standing on the porch. Hi there, Pioneer. She came closer. You must be sick. Did you come for medicine? No, I was just wandering around. Oh, a truant, I see. But if you're here, I have a serious task for you. I gave her a look of inquiry. The word task made me feel uneasy. It sounded like something inevitable. The nurse smiled spitefully. You both will help me to make an inventory of the splendid medicine which arrived today. Both? Who are we? Perhaps I misheard. Well, what word could be confused with both? Hi. Lena emerged from behind the nurse's back. It seemed strange that I hadn't noticed her until now. Come after dinner. I have explained everything to Lena. She will tell you what to do. Medicine, huh? Supply today? But Olga told me there was no bus would arrive for the next couple of days. So there are visitors to our camp today? Yes, they arrived from the city this morning. Why are you asking? Just curious. All right then, Pioneer. So tonight after dinner, you'll be here. Maybe I... Lena was barely noticeable this whole time. Huh, I wonder why. Must be that the top button that's like popped off the shirt of the nurse. Surely she's able to remain invisible like a skilled ninja. I could do it on my own. No way. There are lots of boxes, and a Pioneer is always ready. Isn't that so, Pioneer? She gazed at me and smiled menacingly. I don't want to spend the whole evening doing something like this, and also I've got more important things to do. But rejecting this request would be really improper. If it wasn't Lena who was standing here, I would definitely think my way out. Oh God, that word choice of all things, with her blushing like that. I can't lie though. If I lied and I get caught, that kills it. I don't want to lie. Lying is bad. Don't lie. Lying is really bad. You get caught in a lie, it just makes it worse. And if you have to lie to cover up a lie, it's a bundle of lies, and it gets worse and worse and worse. Nice. That's how a true Pioneer should answer. I need an adult. Even after those words, I barely came a step closer to the be prepared, always prepared motto. Then you can go. That Lena, who was still staring at the ground. Guess all the time she spent staring at the ground was enough to learn everything there is to know about the life and habits of different insects. Plus, Lena likes to read, so she probably read many biological, botanical, and so on books. Perhaps she wants to be an entomologist. Where will you head next? Lena's words drew me away from the obscure thoughts. We were standing at the square for some time, and my speculations about bugs' lives were only an attempt to escape the awkward situation. Why did I see it as awkward? Just don't forget, alright? Don't forget what? Well, tonight, after dinner, at the infirmary. Her face got a slightly grumpy look to it. No way, that's impossible. Alright. Right after dinner, I'm at your service. I thought too late at my words. Lena blushed even harder. Need to find a way to ease the situation. Why did the nurse ask you to do it? I don't know. I was just sitting on the bench and reading a book, and she came, and it's smart to ask a reliable person who would never say no. Okay. Well then, after dinner. Okay. I'll be off then. Yeah, sure. It's a date. And then a possible... thing that could happen. She walked off somewhere beside the clubs. I just stood at the square for some time. So, what's next? I decided to visit my cabin in order to collect my phone. I don't know where I'll find myself today, but having a watch is always useful. Though having a wristwatch is much easier. Suddenly I heard a different tune, which was cutting through the usual noise of the camp. Probably Miku. Listen to it carefully. It sounds like an electric guitar. 3 repeating chords, no more. This melody still felt somehow warm, as if the vacuum tube-based audio amplifier was used. Could there be such a luxury here? The sound was definitely coming from somewhere near the stage area. I wonder who that could be. Curiosity takes me deeper into his delusion. Went to the leader's cabin. Olga was lying lazily on her bed and reading a book. Semyon, what are you doing here? That's what I could ask her too. I've forgotten something, so I came back. You were absent at the lineup. Oh yeah, I apologize. Alright. Nevertheless, you should do something useful today. Just as I planned. But I have my own vision of what useful means. Like? You can go to the square to help with the cleaning. Slavia is in charge there. Sure, I'd just been there and hadn't seen anyone. Or you could visit the boys with the electronics club. They asked me for a hand. This fathers of invention again. Finally, you can help out at the sports club. What are they up to? They're renewing the pitch, fixing the benches, changing the goal nets, and so on. Honestly, none of those options suited me. Why is she always trying to burden me with work? Seriously, except for Slavia, no one ever works here. While the other people in particular are enjoying their free time with a youthful spirit. Every one of their leaders' attempts to keep me busy seems to serve only one purpose. To prevent me from finding out my current location. Really, all the deep, vital questions concerning my existence are swept away by a broom, together with all the rubbish and litter. In my case, taking some time to work would probably pay off. Just like someone suffering gangrene and rejecting an amputation, I will stand by my beliefs. I will not be swayed. You know, I already had my own arrangements. Oh, really? What kind of arrangements? She bucked up. Well, I just can't tell her what I'm really thinking about. On the other hand, why not? No, it's too dangerous. At least now I maintain a fragile balance and nothing is threatening me. Everything seems that way. Just as I thought. What exactly she thought remained a secret. Probably have not yet realized how important it is to participate in social life. This is the only way to become a pioneer capable of being a role model. I don't want to sit through another long lecture, so I decided to accept one of the offers. Sometimes the answers to this world can be found in the most unexpected places. Or at least so I wanted to believe. So should I choose for you? The leader's verse turned authoritative. I can do it myself, thank you. I mumbled and left the cabin. I don't want to do the sports club. Sports club's going to be Olvana. The guys are weird. I'll go to Slavia. Slavia wasn't evil at all. My choice was obvious. Any rational being keeps his house clean, but I usually perceive house cleaning as somewhat akin to gym workouts. So yeah, it's a good for you, but not my sort of thing at all. I like the idea of painting benches for helping the two future geniuses of Russia, or Soviet scientists, science even less. I cannot read now. There are about a dozen pioneers at the square. Where'd they all come from, I wonder? I approached Slavia. Hi there! Apparently I'm hitting second puberty. Let me try that again. Hi there. Oh, hi. You come to help? Well, not of my own free will, of course. I thought it over again. I see. Hey, this room area is right next to the monument. Frankly speaking, there was nothing to sweep there. It seemed pretty clean to me, though some rubbish was still laying around. After sweeping for a while, I came back to Slavia, who was sitting on the bench taking a break. What a nice day, eh? Yeah, I thought it's a bit too hot. She hid her eyes with her hand and looked up at the sky. You're like a tireless worker of communist labor. Oh, come on. I just like to help others. That's good. What about you? What about me? Well, it seems to me that you find community service a bit of a burden. Well, probably. Why is that? I don't really know. Seriously, she can't expect me to just unload all my ideas considering my point on her. She might drown in them, God forbid. Maybe you just don't like company? That's actually quite possible. There was some truth in Slavia's words. I suppose that she was good at reading other people's minds. Or at least at reading mine. Though, how can that be possible if even I find it hard to understand myself at times? What are you going to do when this session is over? What do you mean? You going to enter college, or do you want to master a profession? Typically, you had to choose between either getting a college degree or typically achieving status of engineer or scientist, or going to a secondary vocational school that's mastering a profession. Oh. Or I achieved the grand mastery of all my professions, watching anime and surfing the net. Yeah! I don't know yet. What about you? We have a small farm back home, so I want to help my parents there. That's pretty strange. Are there any private farms in the USSR where all the farming has to be collective? I decided not to go into details. What are your parents doing? My parents were not good at subject for discussion. It's not my parents are not good. Quite the opposite. They're kind-hearted people. But it's not the right time for such a discussion. My father works at the local council. My mother is a teacher. That wasn't actually true. Ooh. More of a half-truth. Cool. She really seemed to consider that a cool thing. I guess so. The conversation reached a dead end, so I was trying to take my eyes off Slavia, and kept gazing under my feet up to the sky or just looking around. You know, I'm pretty sure you'll also be fine. She looked at me thoughtfully. Now, what was that for? And what was that also about? The thanks? I mumbled. But what do you mean? I suppose that you happen to be too pessimistic at times. Isn't that way too straightforward? Maybe. But you're going to be alright. Maybe. After the conversation, I felt ill at ease. On one hand, there was something special in her words. In general, almost any person in Slavia's shoes would come to a similar conclusion. Nevertheless, I felt, and not for the first time, like she could see right through me. So let's get to cleaning. Aha! She smiled and took the broom. Never thought that cleaning could bring such a deep pleasure. No, I wasn't upset because of the conversation. On the contrary, I was glad to hear that from her. First time ever somebody was discussing my life without criticizing me, without giving me any stupid advice based on their own personal experience, without intending to go through my head, and without making some far-reaching conclusions. I was just glad that somebody supported me. No, that's not quite right. I was just glad that Slavia supported me. In a short while, the music played around the camp, calling us for lunch. I put away the broom with a sigh of relief and a sense of accomplishment, and went to his canteen. Who is marching forward in a row? It is our pioneer squad. Pioneers in a row usually march to the canteen. I was looking for a place where no one would disturb me, like what happened before, just so I can eat in peace. And for that, I have to at least not be the last one to come. But I'm pretty sure whatever happens here happens whether I want it to or not. The canteen was crammed as full as an egg. Olga was standing at the entrance, guarding it like a hawk. Well, Semyon, were you working hard today? Hard enough. Well done. Truly well done. And the hardest is yet to come. I just bet. Fine, take a seat next to the girls. She pointed to the table next to the pillar. Slavia, Ulyana, and Lena were already sitting here. Not bad company. At least not the worst. Got my meal and went up to them. You mind if I sit here? Got myself sounding a bit clueless. There were no other free places anyway. No, of course not. Please do. Lena remained silent. Today the meal consisted of a plate of borscht. I suppose there was some meat lurking in it, but I had no evidence. Some poultry, chances are chickenus domesticus, with fried potatoes and a traditional glass of compote. I find myself liking the local food more and more. I guess I just came to the conclusion that I have no other choice, which means there's no use in complaining. Thank God there's something to eat. Coming to the ball tonight? I don't know. He'll come. He got nowhere to go. Leona said happily. You will come for sure. Of course. I can't miss the opportunity to watch you make a fool of yourself. She got it right, so I decided not to reply. And what about you? I asked Lena. Yes. She replied briefly. See, you should go too then, said Savio, as if leaving me no choice. Don't forget to wear your tailcoat. Apparently, Oleana was so pleased with her joke that she laughed out loud. I really had nothing to wear. Our wardrobe was just a pioneer uniform and my winter clothes, which would be inappropriate even in the evening. What will you be dressed in, entertainer? Secret. Will it be a little dress just like in kindergarten's matinee? Leon turned red. Looks like I managed to offend her. No, I'll wear a biohazard suit just so I don't catch an infection from you. Or what kind of infection are you afraid of catching from me? Enough, you guys. Don't quarrel. Idiocy, of course. Looks like Leona was highly pleased with herself as she thought brilliant answers yet again. You know, if you already have the flu, you can't catch a cold. You two can play at that game. Oh my god. This game is amazing. What are you applying? Oh, nothing at all. Looked away slyly. What do you mean by that? She went red again. I don't mean anything. Guys, given that it was Lena who interfered, it probably really was time to stop. You're asking for it, you're gonna get it. What? You'll finally wise up? Instead of replying, I only grabbed her plate filled with borscht and tipped it over my head. This game meant an unexpected finale. Oh, you little. She jumped up and tried to run away. This time she won't get away. I grabbed her hand. Now. And now what? She can't smash her head against the table. This pantomime lasted a few seconds. Suddenly, Yana skillfully grabbed a glass of full combat and splashed it in my face. That way, she managed to free my grip. Death up towards the counter, and I chased her. She shoved in several flipped tables, a pile of smashed tableware, 5 pioneers crippled by various injuries, and full exhaustion of both parties. A draw, sort of. A belligerent draw. With too much belligerence and not enough sexiness. We stood before each other and breathed heavily, and there was the sexiness. Tell me you won't behave this way again. And you? Olga snuck up on us from behind. You gotta get into it, don't you? You think about it, such a riot couldn't go unnoticed. Well, are you satisfied with yourselves now? Her voice appeared to be calm, but I was sure she was just about to explode. And who's going to clean up all this mess? Exactly what happened. Who, I'm asking you, who? Who? Him! Replied Oleana with a complete confidence. So rude. Her. I objected less confidently. Both. Can't believe it brought a conclusive end to this ongoing argument. Generally, I wasn't sure that my share of the blame was more than hers. Although Yana didn't have a drop of guilt on her face. Beat it. I'm not cleaning. Ain't nobody got time for that. This is his fault. He started it first. No, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is. I'm not going to sort out all this nonsense. Simeon, go grab a mop, a bucket, some clothes, you know, that kind of stuff in the closet. And as for you, so that Oleana with such a burning gaze, I felt a bit sorry for the girl. You. Tried to pick up the broken tableware immediately. Do it with hands, and I hope you cut your... That's not cool, sorry. Oleana took a deep breath and continued. You're nothing but trouble. How many times have I told you? So I had to skip the lecture and went to the closet that appeared to be near the exit. Something a perfect idea flashed in my head. Why don't I just run away? Sure, Olga has caught us already, but I'm not the one to blame. Of course, I'm not the true pioneer that she keeps talking about, but in comparison to Oleana, anyway, she's the principal culprit. Not like I have anything better than cleaning up the mess here. I have to seek answers. The truth is out there, somehow flashed through my mind. Renegade. Should I be the comrade I should be, or do I want to be a renegade? Comrade, renegade. Comrade, renegade. Renegade for life. She just came out of thin air. Olga was scolding there. I snuck out the exit, and thank goodness it was nearby. Sitting outside, I hesitated for a few moments and ran into Cheese Coon. He was working till late at the club. Where's the fire? Fire? My shuttle is leaving in 10 minutes. What? Hey, wait. Oh. I say, what the hell is that? And it's like, oh, wait, it's my mouse. Words hung in the air behind me. I ran up towards the square. Definitely the best place to hide. Indeed, in a state of stress or fatigue, I frequently start talking to myself. Well, not really talking, but rather mumbling under my breath. Helps me concentrate and find the right solution quickly. Okay, where to next? Where should I go? This place would be the one with the least amount of people. Consequently, my way lies in the woods. Half a minute later, I was already relaxing, sitting on the stump near the forest trail. That was one hell of a getaway. I hope that will teach Ilyana to behave. Indeed, she's not a child anymore. Well, sad but true. Not a child anymore. Now a thought crossed my mind. I might have sort of mishandled the whole situation. Fair share of that broken tableware is because of me. Moreover, one might mention that I didn't have to engage in the mess at the beginning. It got me thinking. How's the weather? Slavia stood right before me. Don't judge me. I only ran because she's a jerk. You wouldn't judge someone who thinks you're very pretty, right? How does she manage to sneak up unnoticed? Thank goodness it's not Olga. Fine. Those are the only words I managed to squeeze out of myself. I thought I'd find you here. Why? I'm not sure. It's just... She looked at the sky. There are a few people around here. Does she really think I have some sort of social phobia? On second thoughts, she actually has a good reason to think so. And what are you doing here? Looking for you. She smiled again, but this time her smile looked a bit different. A little friendlier, I guess. Me? Why? Can't you guess? I braced and prepared for the harsh lecture. I understand that you're guilty to a lesser degree than Ilyana. The camp leader's assistant is defending me. I felt even more pathetic. Bad cop, good cop. That's funny. But if I grant that you aren't going to help her, then can at least help me. Saying that, Slavia looked up at the sky yet again. What's she looking up there for? What do I need to do? We have to reorganize the books in the library. Way better than disciplinary enslavement together with Ilyana. And anyway, it was an offer I couldn't refuse. I'm all your service, mademoiselle, or madame. She laughed. Then follow me, monsieur. A couple of minutes, we were at the library. All the way, I kept looking around in fear of meeting Olga. Like Slavia didn't notice my anxiety. And still, it's quite odd that she hasn't scolded me. Well, if we are to continue our analogy, Slavia is definitely the good cop. Analogy. Wow. Really screwed that up. When we went inside, gleaming sunlight streamed through the windows of the library, with a myriad of dust particles dancing in the beams. This is a special library dust with that distinctive smell that you can never confuse with anything else. These microscopic pieces of the moribund collected works of Marxism, Leninism, classics. That's interesting. Does this dust near the fiction shelf smell similar to the dust near the books on physics and chemistry? You start with those, Rose. Slavia pointed the bookshelf near Lenin's sculpted head. Ah. Well, what exactly do I have to do? Just remove the books from the shelves and put them on the floor. We'll dust them and then put them back. You know, this dust, reading is hardly the pioneer's favorite activity. Any idea where Xenia might be? Don't know. She probably went somewhere. Strange. Because there are just two places in the world where one can meet Xenia. Library and the canteen. I got into gear. I guess I've never handled so many books at one time in my entire life. Anyway, I'm much more used to reading from the computer screen or a tablet. Ironic. Firstly, there is no one to pay for electronic books. Sadly, you can't find everything in printed form. How's it going? Asked Slavia, standing behind the bookshelves. Okay, it's going little by little. Have you read anything about that? About what? What about communism? Now I'm kind of more into historical books and adventures. Me too. Well, historical literature wasn't exactly my favorite, but the class struggle under socialism was no match for it. Sorry, guys. I'm doing this back to back to back, so it's really a good game, though. I actually like this so far. Hey, don't hold a grudge against Uliana. I don't. Indeed, I felt my hand go. Felt that had my frick. One more time. Indeed, I felt that my had ego mostly recovered. Okay, so I wasn't reading that wrong. Felt that my ego had mostly recovered from the incident at the canteen. The art is good, so I'll let it slide. Besides, I managed to cleanse myself of the lunch leftovers in the forest lake. Not like she's doing all that out of spite. Out of spite or not, one should think through one's own actions. Whatever. I'm the pot calling the kettle black since I, grabbed her and immediately looked like I was going to get, really weird with her. Kept moving around dozens of books written by people totally unknown to me. I'm going to forget who they are in a minute, and I'll never get to know what they're writing about. That is a doom of many writers. To become a forsaken set of letters on a hardcover on a bookshelf in the library of a non-existent pioneer's camp reality. It's kind of sad, really, though. Have you finished? Not yet. Yeah, I think so. Me too. Let's do it this way. I'll wipe them down and you put them back on the shelves. I don't remember what order they were placed in before. It's okay. Nobody reads them anyway. Like she has a smile for every occasion. A couple times I've noticed slight differences, shades of emotions in that smile. Joy, happiness, sadness. But those shades are so evanescent. I wasn't really sure that I'm not imagining things. This time her smile looked a little flirty. Ooh, yeah, probably. At least I wouldn't be reading this stuff. Flavia was wiping the covers of the damp cloth and was putting the books back on the shelf. We were a good team. Our job was almost done. Why didn't you take anything from the upper shelves? Upper shelves? I looked up. Sorry, I hadn't noticed them. It's alright. Wait a moment. I'll bring the chair. If this is a chair fall scene, I swear to God. Even with my rather considerable stature, I wouldn't be able to get them. I stood on the chair and proceeded to remove the books from the shelves and pass them to Slavia. After a while, there were only about a dozen books left in the farthest end of the shelf. It looked to me like it wouldn't be hard to reach that far. I always been the type to take a larger bite rather than a biting twice. Taking that bite without moving the chair under me became a fatal error. Wow, I did not see this coming at all. Opening my eyes, I found myself on top of Slavia. Are you? Did I? Are you alive? Romantic. Good going, Light. I got the fright of my life. Even if I'm only 17 now, falling off a chair onto a girl is something else. I'm fine. It's only an inch away from mine. Anything broken? I don't think so. You'd make a rather bad stuntman. She laughed. You bet. I looked into her eyes. Just looked. Wasn't sure what I should say, and Slavia either hesitated too or just let me take the lead. At this rate, something might happen. Her lips were close to mine. Natural desire started to awaken my body. But was it right? I had the urge to stand up, but was unable to do so. Slavia was just lying in silence and looking me straight in the eyes. All of a sudden, I noticed a bell ring on the edge of my hearing. Damn. That sucks. It's dinner time. Yeah. Shall we go? Or shall we lie here some more? She smiled again. This time, her smile seemed foxy to me. So she were hinting at something. The good guy says, let's go. Which he's doing the right move. But at the same time, oh, jeez. I didn't move an inch. Well, if we're going to go, you need to get up first. Obviously. Like some invisible force to hold me in place. I seemed to recognize that and carefully slipped out from under me. You're going to stay there? She laughed. At this point, I finally came to my senses and stood up. I'm sorry. That's okay. But we haven't finished it all. I'll have to clean up the rest later. Yeah, sure. Still on the way to the canteen. Slavia rambled about her life in the camp, but given that it was indeed a monologue, I wasn't paying much attention. Well, the music definitely picked up pitch. Don't you have some explaining to do, young man? Remember what was that I'd forgotten? Nope. How was your cleaning duty? Good enough. Not what Ilyana told me. That was all her fault. And what did I tell you? I urged you to clean it up together. And what were you doing? And I was saying, deep down I knew that she was right. Don't blame him. Someone was helping me at the library. Oh, really? Yeah. Well, that's all great and stuff, but to cut a long story short, you won't get dinner tonight. How was that? Why? I protested. My protest looked more like a demand for a refill at a prison mess hall, bold and daring, but still stupid and counterproductive. Hopefully that will teach you a lesson. At that instant, Olga looked more like an ancient Roman legionnaire commander than a tiny pioneer camp leader. She's like cow Olga. I had no idea how to oppose her. Forgive him and hold me responsible. Can't believe it took her time to think it over. All right, if you say so. Thanks. Thanks. We hurried inside. When I joined the girls, we had a prior arrangement. Take care. She smiled and waved her goodbyes. Seriously, where would I be without her? There are enough free places near Slava, and besides, I haven't been introduced to her friends. Seems I will have to share a dinner table with Electronic and Shurk. There were no more places to sit. What's happening, gentlemen? Every time I had to deal with them, I got an itching desire to tease them, or at least to drop some cheeky or cocky banter. It might be too risky to behave that way, but Electronic brothers were my primary source of positive emotions. How are you doing? Fine, what about you? Hits and misses. Something happened? Lots of stuff. Mind sharing? Nah, some other time maybe. Suit yourself. Made a helpless gesture. We're going to the ball after dinner. Electronic giggled. I know that. Who would you want to ask out? I hadn't thought about it yet. What about you? Seeing that this question caught him off guard. Ask Ilyana. That would make her happy. No thanks. Electronic furiously waved his hands. And you, Shurk, you gotta ask Alyssa out. Thanks, I'll pass. Look calmer than his mate. Oh, come on, guys. It'll be fun. In any case, we've got things to do. You still have to finish the robot. Oh, that's a marvelous idea. Ask your robot out. Can it dance? It can't even walk yet. Shurk probably missed the point completely. Why, it would be a great demonstration of our achievements in front of the camp. Well, and what would we show to them? Yeah, you're right. They both stared at their plates, disappointing. Wow. I'm a dick. I'm a dick. Dinner was over and the pioneers started to disperse. Well, what will you wear for the ball? I asked Shurk and Electronic. I don't have anything special to wear. We'll go as we are. He gave his pioneer uniform. They don't seem to care about their appearance at all. Well, why should I care then? Wearing my winter clothes isn't an option. I'll just go like this. When does it start? After 9 o'clock. Got it. I left the canteen and deeply inhaled the fresh evening air. Remember those rare dances I used to go to at school? Hesitation, insecurity, even fear. I couldn't dance. I don't know how to react if someone had invited me. I wouldn't dare to invite myself. All in all, I felt pretty uncomfortable about it. It seemed more unpleasant to watch others having fun. It wasn't envy. Like it was disconcerting feeling that people were able to enjoy something so odd for me. I thought there was still lots of time to the ball, so I could sleep a little to be fresh in the evening. Entering the camp leader's cabin, I flopped onto the bed instantly and shut my eyes. Got smacked. Strangely enough, I got up right on time, even without an alarm. The clock was showing 9. Such a rare thing to happen. Felt sluggish, though. Probably because it's the best idea to sleep during the day after all. Well, I have to go. I'm going to stop standing at the square. Last weekend, some DJ equipment were installed near the monument, and the trees were decorated with lights and strings. Ah, typical country ball. A lot of pioneers were around, but no familiar faces. I sat on the bench and waited. I don't have to dance after all. Maybe I'll be able to sit and chat with someone. Hey there, sad face. Liana. Here to suggest something? Come on, let's dance. It's way too early. There isn't even any music yet. Blah, you're so boring. Yeah, I'm not the merriest person for such an event. She ran away. Liana did wear something like an evening dress. Pretty funny. Okay, so. Yep, she's not in astronaut gear, but she still looks pretty good for a girl that you fell on in the library. Hi. Love you. Hey. And I'm on my side. How's the evening? Fine. Why are you so sad? I'm not. Okay, well, dancing will surely cheer you up. Maybe. Don't forget to save one dance for me. She left and ran towards the music equipment. She was moving serious. I wouldn't be able to sit through the whole dance party. Hi. Nina came closer. Oh, hi, you're here too? Is that such a wonder? Yes. Okay. Gonna light this party up? The joke fell flat. Lucian looked down. Maybe that was not the best idea, setting things on fire. Okay, then I guess I'll... Yeah. She left. What happened to doing the nurse's office thing? Like, I was actually looking forward to that, kind of. I think the whole camp was at the square. The pioneers formed large groups, talked, joked around, and laughed. The DJ's panel, Ulyana argued loudly with Olga about the plays for the evening. And here it is. Music started to play. I didn't know the band or the song, but if you ask me, I really felt that I'd tag it to Soviet pop classics. The pioneers just stood there for some time as if not hearing the music. It's always hard to take the first step, especially if you're pretty sure that you'll be the only one who wouldn't take it. Liana seemed not to grasp that simple truth. She reached the center of the square with a few bounds and cried out loud, "What are you standing around for?" She started to wiggle ridiculously. Wiggle is the exact word. You couldn't find a better one. It looked so silly and funny that I couldn't resist laughing. She noticed it. Hey, Semyon. Pretend I couldn't hear her. Stop pretending. Come over here. I kept ignoring her. The pioneers slowly realized that they weren't too sexy for this party and started to dance. It looked really silly from my point of view. Shaking one's arms and legs to the beat of a long forgotten hits. Come on, get real. Of course, I couldn't dance at all, but this thing couldn't be called a dance either. Hey, Semyon, what are you sitting there for? Don't you want to dance? I'm so deep in thoughts that I hadn't even noticed Lava. Not really. Are you sure? She smiled. Maybe later. Damn, what am I even doing here? One more invitation to dance would completely ruin my pride. I heard anything but an appropriate excuse to leave and was looking for the moment to do so. But then I saw Lena. She was slowly heading my way. Maybe we should go? Where to? I was so immersed in my thoughts I didn't really get what she meant. To the infirmary? But if you want to stay here and dance. Now she was going to dance. Lena had stood aside the whole evening. No, I'll pass. Let's go. I just wanted to stand here like a shy nerd. Seriously, trying to conceal myself in the corner wasn't very pleasant. A bull in a china shop would be more agile than me on the dance floor. Didn't have the slightest intention of dancing in the first place. Well, shall we go to the infirmary? Lena brought me out from my thoughts. We'd just been standing there near the canteen for some time. Yeah, sure, thank you. What for? She looked at me in surprise. Well, for getting me out of there. I shouldn't have told her that dancing is not my thing. It's, you know, so boring there. Seems to me like you don't like dancing. It's not a trace of sarcasm or a truthful, even childlike face. It's like she really didn't understand. Yes, don't like it at all. I'm not into it. Me too. No one ever invites me to a dance. Lena blushed and started around usual. Strange. What's strange? Well, no one ever invites you. You think so? Again, she looked at me with an expression of surprise and a lack of understanding. I got confused and couldn't find what to say in return right away. Yes, certainly. If I liked dancing, I would have invited you for sure. Thanks. We didn't say a word for the rest of the way. Lena obviously felt too confused by my awkward compliment and just didn't know what topic to choose for a conversation. It was completely dark by the time the gloomy building of the infirmary covered in the night mist looked strongly like a haunted house. I felt a strong desire to turn around and walk away without making any noise. I threw a quick glance at Lena and noticed that she looked like usual, shy, modest, and certain, but not in any way scared. It just made me even more uncomfortable. It couldn't be that she's not scared while I... Suddenly an owl hooted nearby and I shivered. Lena seemed either to not hear it, not pay attention to it, or just not be scared by it at all. I hardly could believe the third option, but I didn't want to ask her about it, giving away my own fear. I entered the infirmary and found the switch in the dark. Will the nurse come later? She won't come. Okay, she won't come. Understood. Wait a second. What do you mean she won't come? Ah, I see. It's not that I'm afraid to be alone with Lena indoors at night with no one around. Only moves if something happened under such circumstances. It's just that I am with Lena and not Liana or Slavia. And it's really changed my attitude towards things happening. There are the boxes. She's pointing at the messy stack of boxes. There are about a dozen of them. It would take much more than 10 minutes of work. Put one of the boxes on the table before me and started to take out the contents. There are bandages, lots of little packs of bandages. Here, take this. And he gave me a piece of paper. There's some kind of fields. I quickly realized I should put a name in the left, description in the middle, and if there is one, and a quantity in the right field. Not a database, but it'll do. The work started in full swing. Semyon? What? I looked at Lena. She stared at me for a couple moments, seemingly making up her mind to do or say something, but then lowered her gaze again. No, never mind. It was physically hard for me to just sit without saying a word. However, I didn't dare to speak first. Not only because I didn't think of a good type of conversation, but that I was feeling shy. This girl could easily be embarrassed by anything. Semyon? Yes? You are counting them all over again. Indeed, I had started to take out and put into the database the bandages that I had already counted. Oh, sorry. She didn't answer. Hey, where are you from? I mean, where did you come from? Meaning, where were you born? I mean, where do you live? Well, there's a town not far from here. Not far from here? Where is that? Somewhere. Like she doesn't want to talk about it. Lena's hiding something too? Is it inexplicable that in the case of Olga, but in Lena's case, it's absolutely not like her? Is it a secret? No, just... So is it somewhere to the south too? Should have thought of something more original. Every single one of my sudden ideas turned out to be the wrong way. The system to play spy worked out even worse. I thought about stealth just because the only pioneer camp to the Soviet Union remembered was Artek. Yes. Lena hesitated to reply. I couldn't quite tell if she was lying or not. Don't you like it here? I wonder what part of what I said made her think so. Absolutely not. I like it here. My false friendliness sounded very insincere, grating on the ears. What about you? I like it. It's so calm here. There are lots of books in the library, and the people are nice. Nice, but not all of them. Why? Did I really say that last bit out loud? Turns out I did. Well, you know. Liana, for example, she's like an Energizer battery with a completely unbalanced point of power application. Battery? What? Maybe I really was sent back in time. Never mind. Or Alyssa. Saying a pioneer is the kid's role model certainly hasn't described her. If everyone started following her example, it would be a complete disaster for the country in 12 years or so. However, thinking about it now, you can draw the conclusion that everybody did follow the example of Alyssa in the 80s, where I probably am right now. She's not like that, actually. Not like that? Not like what? Not like what you said about her. To begin with, I hadn't said anything. Just stated the fact that she is not the best example to follow. Well, maybe. Sound like you know her well enough. Probably. I asked that question only to keep the conversation going and didn't expect an answer like that. Alyssa and Lena were so different. The idea they could be close, unbelievable for me. We came from the same town. As if she had foreseen my question. We have common friends, even though Alyssa is 1 year older. Okay. It's a little bit strange. Oh, no. Oh, not like that. I'm just surprised. Everyone gets surprised. Lena smiled a bit. I took the second box. And now again, activated charcoal, saline solution, potassium. And I always spoke in simple sentences. How can I communicate with her? If every conversation turned out to be a monologue or just an awkward silence. I wasn't quite satisfied with such a state of things. It looked like she was hiding something beyond her mask of shyness. But what? You know, I read a book not that long ago. Do you like science fiction? Not much. Damn, another failure. Well, if you don't like it, then what books do you like? Different kinds. The conversation was going smoothly, and I had to turn it off for the better. Who knows why, but I thought about the dance again. Feelings of uneasiness, comfort, and even shame overwhelmed me once more. Looks like I am not that different from Lena when it comes to such things. I am shy and afraid of things I don't understand or can't do. I should probably overcome my own fears before anything else. This will help me to understand her better. I've made up my mind. There are only a couple boxes left. Yes. Hey, I've got an idea. About we go to the canteen afterwards. I think the tape recorder was taken back there. What's he doing in the canteen? I hesitated. What for? Her sincere look made it clear that she hadn't a slightest idea of what I'm going to offer. Well, frankly speaking, I just don't know how to dance. That's why I don't like it. That's the reason why I was so confused back there. Maybe I could thank you by dancing with you. But She stopped sorting out the medicine for a moment, blushed, and looked right into my eyes. I got a bit stubborn. It was really a stupid idea. Okay, if you don't want to, I don't insist. What if someone sees us? I certainly didn't think about that. Not a big deal, but everybody's asleep already, and no one else is going to go to the canteen at night. How will we get in there? Should have thought about it beforehand. Well, I did have Slavia's keys, but didn't want to mention them. Someone could get the wrong idea about me stealing them. That moment I regretted that I still didn't get my cell phone from the leader's cabin. Olga talked my head off then and forgot it. Anyway, I had to say something to get away from this awkward topic. What kind of music do you like? Different kinds. I'm not really into it. Then let's imagine that it's playing now. I mean that we hear it playing. How's that? Like it plays in your head. I still remember the melody the pioneers were dancing to. The music and words were really clear in my memory. I'm not sure I can do it. You can just try. Probably. I've got her consent. In Lena's case, even that probably can be considered yes. We silently sorted medical supplies for the rest of the time, writing down their names and quantities. I should pay more attention to every word I say after such luck. I stay silent most of the time, though. Soon we finished the last box. I gave Lena the filled-in list and started to stare at her like I saw Bigfoot riding a unicycle while juggling piglets. Yeah, sorry. It was amazing, frightening, and above all, mesmerizing. Then I broke out laughing. What? That look of yours. What about it? It's just funny. Really? Yes, so where are we going to go? Where? Her last words unsettled me. I completely forgot about what we were talking about. Damn, this pillow. Ah! Okay. No more pillow, apparently. Frankly speaking, my camera has a need to be shifted. Sorry. Cool. I completely left this world for a moment. Well, you know, to dance. Lena blushed right away, and her face took on a strange expression of shyness, uneasiness, and fear. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was just lost in thought. Let's go to the pier. I don't know why I chose that place. Maybe because you could run into a pioneer at the square, in the residential area, or near the canteen. But not on the pier. That's what I thought, at least. You went to the pier after you won the card tournament, and Alyssa was there. How do you think that's a good idea? Oh, jeez, this guy. Because of the large, bright moon reflecting the water in the night. It's a full moon tonight. So I don't know how, but this solution just offered itself. If you don't like it, then we can... No, that's a really nice place. Lena locked the door and made our way to the pier. Night fell on the sleeping camp. Should we follow the road? Why? It'll be faster through the forest. There's a nice path there. Start there. Are you afraid? Not really. If you want to, okay. But can I? Without finishing, she grabbed onto my arm. Her boob popped right next to my arm. Is it okay with you? Now it's my turn to blush. Of course. We walked through the forest. It was hardly a forest, though. More like a small grove between the camp and the pier. About 100 meters long. When everything that there would be anything to be afraid of, even on my own. It seemed like Lena's fear was contagious. The branches swayed over us. I shuddered, and Lena clung to my arm even more strongly. Don't be afraid. It must be a squirrel. Yeah. We reached the pier. The night was really beautiful. I walked closer to the river and called Lena. Look! The pier and the boathouse and the moon were reflecting in the water. Look like another world with the surface on the water being the door to Wonderland. You could just jump and find yourself on the other side. May I have this dance? I extended my hand to her and bowed clumsily. Lena hesitated. Must have overdid it with my mannerism. There's nothing to fear. I'm no good at it either. Why either? She never that she couldn't dance, though it was kind of obvious. Okay. She gave me her hand and it bit aside and gently pulled my arms around her waist. We just stood there like that for a few moments. And what next? Well, I don't know. Do you remember that song? Barely. But I remember. Great, let's waltz like it in the movies. How's that? Instead of answer, I carefully started to move in a circle with Lena. See, not that hard at all. Yeah. We waltzed for several minutes, or whatever you could call it. I felt her warmth, though we were not that close to each other. Her chest heaved heavily and her face started to blush more and more. Lena didn't look at me, averting her gaze from one side to another. Suddenly I noticed that I've never felt anything like this before. It was tenderness overtaking reality as if I found myself in another, better world. I realized that I didn't want to let this girl go, and that I would give up anything to go on waltzing with her forever. I clasped Lena tighter. Only then did she look straight at me. There was surprise and confusion in her gaze, but no fear whatsoever. She wasn't afraid of me and didn't push me away. And you said you can't dance. I really can't. I was confused. I didn't expect that reaction from her. Where has her confusion, shyness, and fear disappeared to? You too dance pretty well. I know. A playful smile crossed her face. Or maybe it just seems so to me. No, I swear I saw it. How is that possible? The image of the shy, modest Lena didn't fit together with this moment at all. What should I say? What should I do next? Can I keep on waltzing with her in this dance, which was getting stranger with every passing minute? Semyon! Semyon, where are you? The voice came from the edge of the forest. Damn, worst timing ever. Semyon! It was Olga. She must have been worrying because I haven't been back in a long time. Should have guessed that tireless camp leader would start searching for the lost partner. I shouldn't have warned... hang on. Boop. Lost pioneer, sorry. I should have warned her beforehand. Oh, there's no point in thinking about it now. Kiss her, kiss her. And looked at me questioningly. Being seen together would not be the best thing. Why? Let's go and tell her that everything is alright. No. Let's hide it and return to the camp later. Her idea was strange. Everything was going so well. It's something that started to work out, or seemed like it did. What was that something? Okay then. I had to argue and it was appropriate for the situation. Olga shouted for a while and left. Let's go. Yes. Lena didn't grab onto my arm on the way back. I was a little bit frustrated, but wasn't certain enough to take the first step. We kept silent again. It was not typical of Lena to start a conversation. I didn't know what to say after everything that happened at the pier. She kept looking at the ground on the way back, keeping her usual expression. What a bizarre change. Or to be more precise, what was bizarre was that smile on the pier and Lena's words. She stopped at the square. Well, I have to go. Okay. Thank you. For today. Yes. Lena turned around and headed to her cabin, and I kept standing where I was. What the hell was that? That dance. A sudden change in the mood, and then everything was back to normal. It was like I was embracing another Lena in that short moment. That's right. She wasn't herself. She seemed a completely different person. Maybe I don't know her well enough. I had a feeling before that Lena hides something under her mask of shyness. It takes much longer than 2 days to understand someone. Damn, what should I do? Maybe I was just seeing things. I walked to the leader's cabin. The whole camp was sleeping, so there was no one to see me. So what? What's wrong with a pioneer taking a walk at night? As I went to the door, I heard a noise behind me. The branches of the bush near the trees felt as if someone moved there. There shouldn't be any wild animals around here. Someone must have been watching me. The very moment I rushed in the direction of the noise, forced myself through the bushes and looked around. It was too dark and I didn't see anything or anyone. There's no point in going on. Even if someone was watching me, he must have gone already. I went back to the cabin. The light inside was on. Looks like she's still awake. Simeon, where have you been? What do you mean, where? Me and Lena have been sorting medical supplies in the infirmary. I told you before that I would be doing that in the evening. Really? When was that? Took you long enough. I was in the infirmary about a half an hour ago. It was closed and the lights were off. Well, we decided to have a little walk. I'm forgetting about you while you're out having a walk? Well, sorry. I'll let you know beforehand next time. Please do. Go to bed. It's late. I can't help agreeing with her. It was by any measure a hard day. Too tired to think about the evening's events. I doubt it would be any decent thoughts. The main thing is that I have not a single idea of how to react to all of this. To Lena, to the camp, to this whole world. I feel like I haven't spent even a minute on looking for answers. Moreover, I've been avoiding it as if the possible discovery scared me. And Lena, the time I spent with her was much more important than all of my attempts to return to the real world. I could worry myself for a long time trying to understand what I did wrong. What I didn't do at all, but exhaustion overcame me. Day 4. Alright, guys. So, that was a pretty long episode, too. This is turning into like hour and a half long episode. Okay. That was odd. Anyways, well, I'm gonna stop it here, and yeah. It's getting really weird, actually. Like I'm starting to think it's like I said before, like a reverse giver kind of thing. It's also giving me like a Truman Show kind of feel, where he's like in an isolated area and everything is like being governed around him. I don't know. It's really weird, but we'll pick it up again here. I'll see you guys next video. If you like this, by all means, like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever. I'm tired. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later on. Have a good one.